buzz here in a second. Yep. Do you mind checking? Yep, I see it. Okay, cool. I think we're good. Welcome. This is ETH Vancouver. We have a talk every week on different parts of DeFi and NFTs and kind of everything crypto. And yeah, today we have a talk by the AML Incubator on the dark side of DeFi. I don't have too much else to go into, so I think I'll just let you take it away.
Sounds good, thanks. So I'm Tigran, I'm the founder of the company. We are a fractional compliance outsourcing firm. Presentation has two sides to it, okay? One of them is very interactive, where I'll show you real case scenarios, and the other one, some data and educational material that I want everyone to be aware of. One thing I want to mention, I'm not that good at presenting, okay? I don't really like to present, and this is like very difficult for me usually. Yeah, we even have an individual that we hired in our company that does these presentations for us. But this was so cool, and the crowd is smaller, and I'm happy to be here. So if you're a tough crowd, be gentle. But kindly ask questions during the presentation. Feel free to stop me and say, hey, Tigran, what do you mean? You're wrong or you're right. This is interesting. Something like that, okay?
Also, one thing I forgot to mention for questions, we have mics around. We're streaming, so if you speak not into a mic, they can't hear you. So please try and pick up a mic if you have a question.
Sounds good. Let's get going. So the dark side of DeFi. Crypto's promise is transparency, freedom, but that freedom comes with risks. Who is AML Incubator? We're a fractional compliance outsourcing firm. We're not lawyers, but we are the partners of regulatory navigation and financial crime mitigation. We do stop financial crime for different reporting entities. Majority of the fintech, including the ones that are involved in cryptocurrencies, are considered to be reporting entities in the eyes of the regulator. And they have legal obligation to meet their obligation with the regulator, and we help them with that. On top of it, we stop financial crime. And I'm going to talk about it, how it works, how crypto is exploited for financial crime, and what happens after every click behind the scenes. Okay? We were founded in 2022 because of the unmet market need. There were no, and still there is a deficit of professionals who knows how to do this, okay? Right, so let's get going. What is compliance? Compliance is one of these interesting departments of every company that can be small or big, that stops that company to be exploited in the hands of the illicit actor. So especially when you're in financial services and cryptocurrencies, that's a big tool for you to move money. Moving money is a big fundament of a crime, okay? So every criminal needs money, and what they do with that money is what matters, okay? They can actually use the money to fund further illicit activity and or not use it, and the best way for you to stop it is to take that money. And big organized crimes were collapsed when you've taken their money. I'll give you a simple example now, move really quickly forward. You have heard of Al Capone in Chicago, correct? You guys know what he was arrested for? Tax evasion, right? So it's part of financial crime. So this is super effective tool, okay? I would like to touch base on about this because public has a very I think misleading perception about who compliance officers are. Okay, so and ChatGPT helped me out to draw this part. I'll just read it as is. AML compliance officers is more than a role; it's a duty to society. In a world where dirty money fuels terrorism, trafficking, and corruption, they are the firewall between the dark money and the legitimate financial system. This is the professional who wakes up every day to fight an invisible war, a war against money launderers, shell games, and criminals trying to exploit the system. They are the intelligence officer in the financial war room, decoding suspicious patterns, flagging nefarious flows, and standing between the vulnerable and those who exploit. This is so true. There are so many instances where me and my team were involved in really behind the scenes that ended up on news in Canada. Okay, and no one would ever know that it was us based on our report. I had instances where it went up to Ottawa, where a politician had to resign because of my report. Here in Canada, okay, we've stopped, we've locked in pedophiles, we've stopped terrorism and things like that. And I'll show you some of these, okay? But no one would ever know that it's us. And we're just sitting and doing this damage to illicit actor behind the scenes in front of our laptops. However, majority of us do have a massive component of making sure that the reporting entities, including the ones in crypto, are meeting their regulatory obligations with regulators. One of the regulators in Canada is called FINTRAC, Financial Transaction Reports Analysis Center of Canada. It's a repository of intelligence where all the reporting entities would send reports about illicit activity. They will put all this together and would have a better intelligence. In Canada, we have it very well established, but we have very bad enforcement after. Like, we can catch the criminals, but we don't know what to do with it after. Anyway, that's another story. Let's move forward. Is this okay to, important note. Majority of the bigger size companies would have internal departments inside of their companies to run this for them. However, it's totally okay to hire external consultants like us. What we do, for example, we do this on a fractional basis for many clients at the same time. So I will be chief anti-money laundering officer for 5 or 6 fintech firms at the same time with my team, and we would do the same work at the same time. And this is totally okay to do so, okay? Another aspect of it for a compliance officer that is appointed in the companies, technically speaking, this is the accurate way of doing it. This is one of those occupations where you are not reporting to anyone in the company. Okay, so like, doesn't matter if it's your CEO, it does something wrong, you kind of report to them, but you gotta stop them. Okay, so it doesn't matter who is in your board. Okay, like, technically speaking, you report to no one. Gives you some, I don't know, power, I guess, but that's very rare when that really happens. You always need to cooperate with the senior management. Typically, that individual needs to report to the board. Okay, let's remember FTX. Remember FTX collapse? Okay, hypothetically, if they would have reached out to me and my company 6 months before, the guy wouldn't end up in the jail for that long. Like, we could have fixed it, that there are so many mechanisms, right? So, and the same thing applies to, compliance officer in the company. If they have proper compliance, they can stop the CEO saying, hey, this is super illegal, stop. I understand that you want to do this. I understand this would make us like $4 billion today, but like, don't do this. This is reckless, okay? Key responsibilities of the compliance officer. Traditional organization, it's an oversight of a written compliance program, transaction monitoring, reporting, regulatory oversight, representation with law enforcement and the regulators. However, a real compliance officer's main job is to protect the company, the employees, and public in general. Okay, that's your main job. And how do you draw the line? Very simple. Look at me. I am a compliance professional coming from a traditional finance that was supposed to be totally against crypto. However, I have a very high risk tolerance. How do I draw that line? It's very simple. I draw the line the moment I see that someone can potentially get harmed. Okay, so my job in a company is to make sure that no one gets harmed. The company doesn't get harmed, the employees don't go to the jail, like had happened with Sam Bankman-Fried. And at the same time, I keep the public safe. Okay? Do you guys have any questions for me? No? Okay, good. Let's go forward. Why compliance is a defense mechanism? It stops crime before they start, shields community trust, prevents lawsuits, regulatory takedowns. Okay, let's have a look at the real case scenario. This is one of the investigations. It's a very simplified investigations. I'll show you some other ones that are significantly more complex. But as you can see here, this is the crypto platform, a Canadian one. $215 goes to this wallet, $13 goes to this wallet, $9 goes to this wallet, and then ends up here to a wallet previously identified by one of the forensic tools to be belonging to ISIS. Okay, technically speaking, this is $7 that ended up with a wallet identified to be belonging to ISIS. This $7 transaction was 1.5 years of intensified investigations for the investigator of this case. Let's put it that way. Okay, so with law enforcement, different departments worldwide, and it ended up in the news. I'll show you that really quickly here for you to see. Here. Okay, 34-year-old man is charged with terrorism-related offenses following the investigation led by Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Federal Policing Integrated National Security Enforcement Team, and anyway, the guy was supposed to blow up a subway in Canada. $7 investigation. Okay, so this is what compliance officers do. We just send this report, and then we get tortured by different law enforcement agencies with information. So anyway, just wanted to show you this, a simplified version of an investigation that we would be involved in. Let's talk about what are the proceeds of crime and money laundering, okay? I'll try to keep this very interactive. Excuse me, sir, what is your name? Otta? Otta. Okay, and your name is? Yuki. Okay, let's assume, Otta, you hate Yuki. Okay? You actually drop a piano from the 10th floor on Yuki. Yuki goes dead right away. Is this a crime? Huh?
How intentional was it?
Very intentional. He hates Yuki.
He aimed, he was waiting for her.
100%, planned for a year. Is this a crime?
Yes.
Okay, is this a financial crime? No. Okay. Sorry, what was your name?
Owen.
Owen. Now Owen comes by, sees Yuki, and sees her wallet there, takes the money out of the wallet, and runs away. Is this a crime?
Yes.
Is this a financial crime?
Yes.
No, not yet. Okay? You just stole her money.
Yes.
Okay? Okay. Now, you go to the bank, you deposit the money into the bank. Okay? Is this a crime? Yes, it is a crime. And this is the moment it becomes a financial crime. It's a proceeds of crime. So it doesn't matter what is it that you do if there is a financial component to it, okay? It becomes a financial crime. So hypothetically, if the proceeds of income or revenue or anything that you do is illegal, it's proceeds of crime. You sold someone's kidney, okay, you got the money, deposited into the bank, it's a financial crime. Okay, you did force someone into prostitution, got money out of it, financial crime. It's a proceeds of crime. Okay, so go ahead, please. Yes, sorry, and I'm sorry for a very dramatic example.
No, that was a great example.
Yeah.
So after Owen deposits the money, is Otto's murder a financial crime, or is it only his actions?
Only his action. He did. Well, Otto gotta go to jail for killing someone, of course. However, the financial crime, okay, from the perspective of Proceeds of Crime, Money Laundering, and Terrorist Financing Act in Canada, is that component where you actually use the money as a proceeds of crime. Okay, so I hope I answered you. Yeah,
so what? Okay, so Owen steals the money from the Yuki's dead corpse, and then what if instead of depositing it in the bank, he like just gives it to me? He's like, "Hey, Christian, here's $5," and then I deposit it in the bank.
That's a wonderful, actually, question. And that actually leads us to the next steps. What are the 3 stages of money laundering? Okay, let me show you in a moment. I got it. You'll understand there are 3 stages to money laundering: placement, layering, and integration. What you just explained to me is layering, which is mostly used in cryptocurrencies, and I'll show you how. Okay, when you up-secure the source of the funds. Have you guys opened a bank account and deposit money? They always ask you, where did you get the money from? That's why you have this question there, right? So, and if what you say makes no sense, someone would file a report with the regulator on you. Okay, let me. I'll get there. I'll show you. So, money laundering. Let's talk about it. It facilitates corruption, destabilizes economies of the countries, undermining the legitimate private sector, compromises the integrity of the legitimate financial system and institutions, gives organized crime the funds it needs to conduct further criminal activities, and I'm not talking about the social cost. There is a rule in Vancouver area. When you don't live in your house, you gotta actually pay a vacancy tax. Do you know where that comes from? Why is it there? Vancouver is one of the hubs of very wealthy people to park their money. Okay, that's why we have insane real estate costs. This is the short social costs of weak money laundering laws in a country. And in some countries, it's insane. Okay, so there is no financial system at all because there are no controls for that, right? Some of these countries that I can give you an example of for a very long time was, for example, Dubai, UAE. Okay, they're out of that list right now. Another country was Cyprus. Look at Cayman Islands, BVI, all the islands with one tree when they can put an office there and you actually can just get everything that you need, passport and park your money with the bank, right? All this matters, okay? So anyway, let's go forward. 3 stages of money laundering: placement, layering, integration. Now help me understand, what could be identified as placement in our auto-killing Yuki with Owen scenario? Depositing, you got it. What could be the layering activity? Here we go, sends e-transfers to you, right? The $10 that he stole from I hope I'm pronouncing right, Yuki, right? Perfect. So yeah, e-transferring it to you, you're e-transferring to another person, that the person e-transfers back to Owen, layering activity. You just run the money, okay? And then integration, Owen takes the money out from the account and buys cookies, okay? These are the fundamentals of the money laundering, 3 stages of money laundering. In crypto, this happens as well. Doesn't matter you actually deposit it with the crypto or fiat, okay? It's still a placement. You can run crypto, and the benefits of crypto from the eyes of the illicit actor, that I can run this quicker worldwide 15 times, so quick and so complicated that it would take approximately a year and a half for someone to find even a mildest trace to where it comes from. Okay, let's go forward. Here, this one is Owen. This one is the bank, right? This one is you guys playing with it, and then he buys the cookies. Make sense? I remember I did this investigation back in the day, and I don't know where that case is right now, but this guy had 38 properties here in Vancouver, all of them empty. Okay, 38 Vancouver, real estates. Average price, I think, was $800,000 at the time. And they were supposed to seize it. I never actually followed out what happened, but they integrated back the money received from drugs back into the real estate in Vancouver. Okay? Yes, absolutely.
Do all 3 stages need to happen for it to be considered money laundering?
No.
So if Owen just put the money in the bank and did nothing with it ever again, that still is money laundering.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah. That happens a lot, by the way. Illicit actor thinks that, hey, I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'm just gonna leave it there. It's bang. They're gonna like my money at least, right? I don't want to get into the point where, hey, we in Canada specifically, in many countries, we do have weak controls in the banks. Okay, but if you have a legitimate department that knows what to do, if it comes from illicit places, they should know where it comes from. At least take reasonable measure to identify it. Please.
To go back to the guy that sent $7 to the ISIS, how did you find this guy? Is because the crypto exchange, he was KYC or? Good
question. Very good question. I'm going to talk about it as well. That's my pain point today, and that's why I named the topic as DeFi. DeFis don't do KYC. Later in the slides, I will be showing it to you. However, what you see right now here, and I'll show a couple of these tools, this is called Chainalysis. It's a crypto forensic tool. Needless to say, I cannot confirm that I was involved with this investigation, okay? Let's put that we're recorded. I don't want, okay? So when you have these tools in place, the map for Bitcoin specifically at the time when this investigation was conducted was being indexed, okay? How did we find out that this wallet belongs to ISIS? The stupid idiots did an advertisement with the Bitcoin wallet. Okay? It was a video of them cutting heads of people and saying, donate. Okay? I said, okay, sure, I'll donate. Sometimes I will do something called a dusting attack as well. I don't know where the crypto is. I'll send the miner like $20, $50 to see where it goes. And I'll identify a chain of wallets where illicit actor is involved. I'll show you. Okay? At a time, this is what happened. The crypto exchange that these transfers were conducted from is a regulated crypto exchange with the Canadian regulators, where where whoever investigated would have asked the know your client procedures, and it's called ascertaining the identity of the client. Okay, so we would have the ID, would have the proof of address of the individual, and so on. Okay, so we know definitely who the person is. Okay, questions? All right, let's go forward. So this is nominees. This is one of the tools that are used. This is how a typical investigation actually works. Seems to be messy, but when you do this a lot, when I started at first, it was like a game to me. I was an early adopter of crypto. I loved crypto at the same time. I loved compliance, and they said, hey, Tigran, you're the only one in compliance that thinks crypto is a thing. Come do compliance for us. And it was a game for me. Okay, so I would just sit for hours and draw these like small wallets to wallets. I'll connect them together. This is a typical investigation, a very small one that we would be conducting, finding certain types of illicit activities. Okay. This is, when you look into the numbers, right, you would see they're not small. And I'm going to talk about these numbers as well. Why it matters? Money laundering does fund terrorism, human trafficking, weapons trade. You don't want fintech to be involved. You don't want your company to be part of it, okay? You need to take measures. When you click it and trade is happening, behind the scenes, stuff happens. People get harmed. You never see it. We don't see it here, okay? But like, I'll give you a simple example. Did you know that we have organ trafficking in Canada? We can buy you a kidney if you want, no problem. Okay, so like, let's go forward. Let's talk about terrorism, terrorist financing. What is the difference between money laundering and terrorist financing? Okay, money laundering is the proceeds of crime, correct? As we have identified. Terrorism does not necessarily have to be from a proceeds of crime. Okay? So I'll give you a simple example. Let's assume that you believe in an idea in a foreign country that, for example, you support an idea in that country, okay? You're a good engineer, you're a doctor, let's say, okay? You receive your funds legitimately, you make money, you're a good doctor, right? But you believe in that idea and you send them crypto, okay? So this falls under the act as well, but it's not a proceeds of crime. It's a proceeds of terrorist property, technically speaking. It's a terrorist property. Sorry, not proceeds, but terrorist property, okay? So main differences between, let me show you this, money laundering and terrorist financing, that money laundering usually is proceeds of criminal activity, and terrorist financing can come from legitimate sources, okay? And both of them are under the same act. That's why it's called Proceeds of Crime, Money Laundering, and Terrorist Financing Act, okay? So I'll give you a simple investigation. This is the latest. This is to do with recent occurrences in Israel, Middle East, and all of that area with wars and everything, right? Out of curiosity, research-based, these are our friends from Nominis. They're an Israeli company that do forensics, and they gave us this interesting scenarios of where they trace some of the money to Iranian terrorist networks. Okay, just wanted to show you some of them. Okay, let's talk about who fights the fight. Who stops money laundering and terrorist financing? Actually, let's talk about main categories of money launderers in Canada. First, okay? So there are two of them, organized crime and white-collar professionals. Okay, these are the main money launderers in Canada, okay? Funny slide. These are the organized crime groups that are officially there in Canada as of today. Rivered Organization, Red Scorpions, Bacon Brothers, Western Gang. I don't even know where they come up with the names, I'll be very honest. Commission Drina, Siderno, Outlaw Motorcycle Gang, Petty Crime Family. I don't even like, yeah, anyway. These are easy to handle, by the way. These are not overly complex. What is complex is white-collar professionals. Can you identify one white-collar professional today in this room? Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Whenever I do wire transfer, 5 people looks at it because I'm probably top 10 on the planet Earth that knows how to launder money. Okay, so like I really do know. And by the way, the other side pays significantly better than my clients. So you're absolutely right. These are sophisticated actors, accountants, lawyers, smart academics, Bay Street guys, Wall Street guys, okay? These are the ones that we need to be terrified. And potentially these two groups usually work together. The organized crime would hire these guys to actually do everything they need to do. Let's go forward. Right, let's talk about scams a bit. Who have heard of rug pulls in the past? Rug pulls. Good. Well, let's actually look into a real scenario. I don't know if you're very well versed with Bird Eye. It's a Solana. Okay, this is DeFi. All right, here we go. Trump 2028. This went up 3,631%, like today, right? So if you would have put $10 there, like how much money would make? Yeah, it would have been cool, right? So this is another one, 10,000% since the morning. Look here. I don't know if this one is legitimate, right? Okay, these are rug pulls, gentlemen and ladies. Okay, if it's too good to be true, it's probably not. Okay, don't invest there or do your due diligence. As simple as this, you can do it through this website here. Okay, first, what we look into token, what's the word? Holders one, yes. Supply two, yeah, all of that. Well, I just want to find that word. Token provisions, okay? Tokenomics, thank you. A lot of these really matters, okay? You need to analyze before you actually invest in here. So don't before you analyze, or when you do, just do small amounts at least, okay? I had people coming up to me saying, Tigran, I just took all my mortgage, line of credits, that's it, I'm doomed. Like, of course you are. Like, you shouldn't be actually investing in sexy token. Have you seen that one? It's like a lot of these really matters, right? So, and then you go and you analyze. See, for example, this one is 3% is owned by one. Top 10 holders, hold 17.43%. Anyway, you can analyze this, right? Okay, so these are rug pulls, romance scams. Can one of you identify and tell me or guess what is the moving force of a human nature?
Greed.
Did you say?
Greed.
Greed one, what's next? Yes, actually. Yes. It's the right word for it is something else. It's love or sex. Love or sex. I mean, you just either you need love or sex, or you're greedy. Okay, these are the two human factors, right? So, rug pulls and investment scams happen because of the greed, and romance scams happens because people look for love. How does romance scam work? Is very simple. Let's say I will, call someone. I'm a dude, okay? I will call you from outside of Canada. I'll engage in a conversation with you. We will be establishing certain emotional connection, and then I'll start extorting as much money as I can, okay? And this is very common in Canada, especially for individuals who are what we call them vulnerable demographic. Who are the vulnerable demographic in Canada? Anyone that had a recent loss. Your dog died, mom died, dad died, husband died, wife died, okay? Everyone that is over 55 years old. I'm not joking. Whenever someone wants to invest in crypto and I see they're like 82 years old, I say, sir, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I don't want to be like, but no, don't do this. I'm not letting you. I'm declining these transactions on behalf of my client. Go invest in gardens. Like, you're not to get into crypto. I'm sorry. I don't trust what you're doing right now, okay? So these all matters, okay? Yeah, let's talk about this one right now. This came in yesterday, by the way. So DeFi really matters. Most of the DeFi, they don't have the KYC component, where you don't really need to provide the identity of who is behind of the transaction, which actually creates a lot of problems, okay? I'll show you a website here. So yesterday night, someone reached out and said, hey, Tigran, we have this guy has like this much Bitcoin and they want to sell it. I checked all the addresses, by the way. Let's actually do a small investigation, yes, together. Here, have a look at it. Okay. This is the wallet that they have provided, that they own the crypto. As you can see, this wallet currently has $384,948,300 dollars worth of Bitcoin. This is accurate, by the way. This is not lie, okay? This is a Rails wallet, okay? Now I'm looking where the money comes from. I trace. I am looking into what type of activity is involved in this wallet, where the money comes from, where does it go. I do my forensics, okay? I have not identified anything bad here, okay? Said, okay, you want to sell this crypto, not a problem. We can facilitate this, right, for my client. But then the guy goes, hey, I need you to actually open a wallet here. Cadra chain. This looks okay, right? We call our friends in Israel, and one of the things of compliance officers is like we communicate. Okay, like I probably would never met someone that I know at Binance, Coinbase, you name it, but we know each other. Like I can call them and say, "Hey, what's going on?" Okay, I'll show you. There is this group also called Crypto Defenders Alliance. One of the ways we stop illicit activity quickly, we can actually communicate really quick to each other with what's going on. It's like an alliance that we can kind of help each other. Anyway, I called my friends in Israel. Hey, like, do you know what's going on with this? They are in Tel Aviv. At Tigran, we just like checked everything. This is not okay. This is a fake website. The wallets are not right. Okay. Said, okay, this was interesting. Went back, did further investigation, and identified that this wallets does not belong to that individual that claims that they want to do this transaction. This simply belongs to one of the biggest liquidity providers on the planet Earth. Okay, legitimate company. Okay, I called them. I said, hey, someone is exploiting you. They say, of course, yeah, we know. It's okay. Common thing, happens all the time. This is our wallet. We put it on a cold wallet right now, so we conduct our transactions, right? Here you go, example number one. Let me show you some other example. This is interesting too. Who has Phantom Wallet? All right, ready? Cool, no? Us Phantom lovers, right? Everything looks right, right? Keep everything in one place. Multiple chains, powerful tool made for everyone. 2 more NFTs, pin height, Their website is better than mine, I'll be very honest. Okay? What do you see here that actually should be a red flag for all of you? Yes. Yes, yes, Phantoms extension. Okay? When you go here, fix issue. Okay? Come on. Okay, enter your face. Okay? How did I identify this one? From this guys here. Sorry, I might have some personal stuff here as well. Close your eyes. Phantom Wallet. Official channel. Here. This is already identified, reported. Here you go. For sending error, you have to revalidate your wallet. Click on the Phantom extension website below. Okay? 13,126 members in this Telegram. Okay, let's join the group. And write you. Okay, here you go. That's it. Coming after them.
What did you write?
You motherfuckers are going down. Like, yeah, I'm gonna shut them down, like literally, like as much as I can. This is bad. Okay. And yeah, just an FYI. FYI, scam. Okay. Any questions so far?
Yeah, I have a question. So imagine I buy this token on a rug on birthdays or whatever. So now my wallet is linked to this rug, and now they send the money to this. So my first wallet was, for example, a Binance KYC wallet.
Yes.
And I send this money to this scam, and now this scam send money to any terrorist or whatever. So now my wallet is linked to these guys.
Yes.
So what can I do?
Nothing. It's the job of the compliance officer to identify how direct or indirect you were linked to it. Okay? And there are mechanisms that I can do. If you have the wallet, we can real time look at your wallet. Today, by the way. Let me know if you want to do it. I'll show you how I identify this is really you or really not you. Okay? There are ways for us to do this. Okay? Anyway, I hope you guys finding this interesting. This is the interesting part already. I'm going to go to boring part a bit. Just to give you some statistics data, I want everyone to be as much educated as possible, if that's okay. And then I'll dig into some fun stuff, okay? What did I do? Okay, here. Rug pulls, okay. Romance scam, we talked about it. This is bad, guys. I have seen 6 suicides so far. Vulnerable demographic sending money for love to Madagascar for whatever the reason is, and then they identify that they have like 4 mortgages and like, okay, this is bad, needs to be stopped. We are very careful with this and we're trying to do our best. These are called romance scams. With the Financial Transaction Reports Analysis Center of Canada, it's called Project Chameleon. Okay, so yeah, if you see someone that is in a relationship online, just ask them, hey, have you sent them any money? And ask them not to, okay, please. How perpetrators operate: fake profiles, dating sites, social media, stolen photos, facilitates like communication, again, building trust and relationship, and then extort money. Interestingly enough, this is very well aware facts. You know, usually the red flags are very common. You're sending to someone that you think it's your husband, but you never met them. You are sending these funds to someone that is in distress. Grandma, I'm in jail in Yugoslavia. Okay, I had that case. It's real, by the way. So not Yugoslavia, but some other country. And it appears the woman did not have had this illness when you forget. Dementia. And she didn't know that's not her grandson. Okay, and sent a lot of money to them, which was not okay. Anyway, this happens. Usually older individuals, widowed, divorced, has never met or seen the fraudster in real life. Behavioral indicators when we talk with these people are very common: evasive or vague responses about transaction purpose, and shares minimal information about what is going on. Okay. Okay, data is our weapon. Blockchain is public. We use it like a search engine. We can actually find stuff, and significantly better than compared to traditional finance. We have real-time investigation tools. We have wallet monitoring dashboards, risk scoring by address behavior, pattern recognition, and they recently added AI on top of all that. So let's talk about something really interesting. What do you think? What percentage of cryptocurrencies are used for illicit activity? You said 2 or 1? 50? Okay, anyone else? 0.001%. I feel you're a believer. Okay, that's good. Let's talk about it soon. This is a reason. There is a reason why I asked this. Okay, I'll get to that point in a moment. Yeah, this is. I don't know why we have this. I don't know why we have this. Okay, yeah. One thing I want to add. I'll get to the point. Remember your responses. Web3 can't survive without communication or cooperation. Okay, there are different places where compliance professional, us as an industry participants, would be cooperating. Okay, unlike traditional banking, when you call from one bank to the other bank to get information, we don't care. Okay, whether I'm in violation of any laws at that point of time, I will help my compliance professional whenever they're in crypto. So they would call me and would say, Tigran, do you know this platform? I would say, yes, I'm their Camlo. Okay, can you check if this is your client? Yes. Can you lock the funds? I will lock it up. I will lock it up. I don't care. And I will return the funds. There is specific procedures we would follow, not to violate any laws. That is very, very interesting procedure, by the way. For example, I would call Coinbase. I will lock the funds there for that individual. Victims would have to go to the police, get a subpoena. Subpoena goes translated from one country to the other country, that goes there, and then with the help of this subpoena, lawyers can take the money and send it back. There's so much crypto that is right now locked, simply locked in the platforms and waiting for like legal to actually act on it. Okay? Let's talk about it. Illicit crypto activity in 2024. Key figures. 40.9 billion received by non-illicit addresses, projected to exceed 251 billion with updated data. 63% of illicit volume now is in stable coins rather than just regular crypto. This is actually really bad. I'm terrified of it. And you're right, 0.14%. This is super low. Cryptocurrencies today are one of the safest financial instruments that exists. Okay?
What is the definition of illicit? Is it like what's the definition of illicit here? Is it like confirmed illicit, or
Confirmed.
how do you confirm that something is not illicit?
Not illicit. Like what?
I mean, like
How much is unknown?
Unknown? Oh, that's a great question. Let me put it this way. Traditional finance, right? The approximate percentage is 2.5 to 3%. However, 70% is unknown. Okay? So we catch that 2.5%. We catch it, we know it's money laundering. It's proceeds of crime. But 70% of it is unknown. Like, there is another probably 10% on top of it that is not identified as such. In cryptocurrency, it's opposite. Because it's on the public ledger, because everyone has access to it, because of the communities, okay? We identify probably 90% of the stuff, and 10% goes unknown. So this 0.14% is pretty accurate. Maybe you can top it up to 0.02% on top of it. And this is a good representation of what is really happening. And this is not me coming up with the data, by the way. These are forensic tools, and I have a link here from a report that I extracted. I want you to see it. This is some of the tools that we use, some of the companies that specialize in this. I don't know if this is accurate or not, but we rely on them. They constantly give the right data, right? So as you can see here, like percentage, money-wise, right? 2024, we estimate about $51 billion. But at the same time, the market kind of tripled since then. Okay? It still goes down. It doesn't really increase much. The problem that we have, though, is that certain cryptocurrencies became redundant for illicit actor to use as a tool for illicit activity. One of them is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not used anymore. We have indexed the map so well, we do know every wallet almost. You can create thousands per day, still APIs and different types of programs and tools and bots would actually index them as good or bad, okay? So, and this is the share of crypto activity. You see how it evolves, about 1%, close to 1% in 2020, goes down to 0.12, 2021, 2022 increase, 2023 increase, and goes down to 2024 to the point where we're 0.14%, okay? So, yes?
I have a question. So, obviously, as the networks expand, the industry expand, you always have a new wave of bad actors coming in.
Yes.
And for example, new platforms, let's take the dark web, for example, can be created, let's say, in a month.
Mm-hmm.
What is, in average, like the timeline between the moment those platforms are created until when they are starting to be identified as being like a bad platform, essentially?
That's interesting. It depends. Depends what type of illicit activity do they conduct. If it's scams, it takes longer because they keep it that it's not a scam as long as they can. I remember one of the scams that erupted took 1.5 years for people to identify it's a Ponzi scam. Okay, 1.5 years. And then they would have told us that, hey, it's a scam, it's a scam, it's a scam. Who would thought that FTX can be potentially problematic, right? FTX is not a scam, right? 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 So this is what I'm trying to say. Like, a lot of people lost a lot of money, but like they keep it as long as they can, and they keep it as much as they can. As longer you wait, more money you can extract. This is for scams. For other illicit activity, there are ways. I do not want to explicitly reveal that. It's like industry secrets, I would say, so far. Okay, because we might have people who are from illicit actor looking at me right now during this presentation. If you don't do shit, please. We'll find you at some point. But still, there are ways for us to identify it, including mathematical patterns, which is one of the core abilities that a good crypto compliance investigator and a professional has to possess. You have a question? You had the mic.
I have one more about the profile of the people using blockchain to money laundering. Are they using also classic bank and stuff like that, or they are only using cryptocurrency? And is it the same kind of people using crypto for money laundering that use like classic financial market?
Yeah. Yeah. Majority of, again, are sophisticated actors. At the end of the day, adoption rate of crypto is not that high yet for you to rely ultimately only on crypto. That is why you need to rely on the traditional banking and take that crypto, sell the crypto, and put it in the bank. Placement. Okay? You just placed it back into the financial system. And this is where they actually get caught usually. Okay? Because banks, after DeFi, would have to KYC of the individual, and we'll find who that is. I remember I did this investigation for a hack for $5 million approximately dollars. Montreal company. I was tracing it for about 8 months. I was 8 months looking what's happening with the crypto. It was Bitcoin. Okay, all went really well. If I knew who that was, at that time I would have find that person and hire that person, because what he did was genius. Okay, he was just taking small amounts, explicitly how much he was supposed to, sending to the places he was supposed to, so I could have lost the trace. How I caught him? Because of $273 that he sent to a exchange that does KYC. Okay, that's it. $273, you found who that is. Right away. Police report, subpoena, go find him, return the money. Okay, I don't know what happened after, by the way, but still. We knew who that is. Report actually showed. Okay, on-chain crime by assets. As you can see, BTC is decreasing. Stablecoins are increasing. This is a headache for us. I don't yet know how to properly investigate stablecoins. They're hard, time-consuming, and difficult for us to do so. However, we're progressing really well. And this is a new problem, new challenge for us. And we're happy to face it, and we will be, yeah, hopefully we'll be okay. Yes?
Where's Monero in this?
Yeah, like, don't get me going. So this was usually used mostly in dark webs. Okay, it's a privacy coin, we call it. Okay? Do I know how to investigate it? Yes. Can I find it? Yes. Can I trace it? Yes. Okay, let's stop there. Okay, yes.
Can you talk a bit more about why stables are hard?
Why it's new actually, because like look, we have indexed the map, right, for Bitcoin, ETH, bigger players, and we can kind of trace where it goes based on the type of wallet that you have, based on the hashes that we receive. We have data that we can use through forensic tools to identify what's going on. Stables, we still don't. Or it's not fully developed, okay? Like if it's stables are used to launder funds, it's difficult for me to conduct investigation, or it's time consuming.
So when you say ETH, you mean like Ethereum native token specifically? Okay.
Different blockchains can be used for it, right?
So is that also, I guess, true for like other ERC20
Yeah.
generic tokens, right? That's also hard because you haven't done the, like, it's similarly hard compared to stables. Or stables is uniquely hard for
I
some
wouldn't
reason.
say that much harder. Comparably, not hard as hard. Okay.
Yeah.
Comparably is not hard. So hardest right now for me is stable USDT. Okay. This is a headache for me to investigate. I don't know what's going on. Like I will open it and I will get stuck. Code. Yep. Good.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Okay. This is what, again, you're bringing these things up. Very good. You know, criminal innovation and infrastructure. With innovation comes a lot of headaches for us. AI is one of them. Deep fakes. These are so wonderful. These deep fakes. Sometimes I would get lost in the AI myself. Okay, you can create an identity that would circumvent any controls that I currently have. Okay, and you can open a bank account at RBC with it. Okay, and CIBC or TD Bank if they are looking. I'm sorry, it's this hypothetical example, but yeah, these are problems that we face day in day out. Okay? It never stops. Financial crime or crime itself never stops. It's liquid, continuously happening. If it is not happening, that means you're not catching it. Okay, so. We talked about it. Let me get you some more details about this. Pig butchering scams. Have you heard of these before? Okay, so let's go back to greed. Okay, this is the people who are greedy. Let me show you a website. Oh, it's done already. Okay. Good. Very good. I'm happy actually. Here you go. Look at this. I mean, it's a website for a typical user, right? So everything is there. You have Bitcoin prices and crypto prices. You have top stories 15 hours ago, 2 days ago, you know, connect anywhere. Everything looks okay. And then you have account types, right? Whenever you see on any trading platform that they give you account types, it's a red flag. Okay, very big red flag. Bronze, silver, gold, platinum. Let me show you something funny. This is AML Incubator. This is my company. We have some of the services as well, standard like that, designed like that. We have essential, standard, and complete. However, you'd have my face here. Okay, so you'd have my face here, and my team, a lot of people that are, you know, and we won't charge you until we talk to you, until we have a very strong contract, until we see you in the video chat. Your due diligence is on you. And 99% of our clients come from referrals. Okay, so like an example, right? So I have it that way on a purpose. This is going to be redesigned, but still, if you see this, this is not okay. Okay? Here we go. Here's another one. Let me show you. And we can maybe assess together to see if you find any other red flags. I have internet, right? Oh, it's actually probably done already. Yeah, it's not opening. And it changed the URL. Did you see? Come here, roboinvest.io. Some Canadians lost like massive amount of money with these idiots. Yeah, it's not working. Anyway, you got the point, right? So let me go forward. How are we with timing, by the way? Am I?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Okay. I'm like 70% probably done.
Yeah.
Okay, so 40+% revenue year to year. This is one of the indicators. If it's too good to be true, it's probably not true. Okay, don't invest. Again, victims are lured via relationship or fake jobs, then defrauded, often tried to, there would be, there's another issue that we have identified recently. So these people would be on the phone, WhatsApp, on Telegram, would talk to you and then defraud you. We have identified this ring where people got trafficked to do this job. Okay, so they just stole these people's passports. I beg your pardon? I haven't heard that one yet, but potentially, I guess. Like you.
So basically, a bunch of concentration camps of pig butchering ladies, often that are just talking to people on chats, and then they have to rake in a certain amount of money. But yeah, they're just kind of stuck in jail type situations.
Same. Yes. It's like that is happening today, and it's bad. Okay, I'm not worried about the money. Money is money, guys. At the end of the day, right? Human life is what really matters. Again, when I have devastating thing is when someone gets scammed. Don't hurt yourself. It's okay. You can go make more. It's okay. And the same thing applies to these people on the other side. They might be forced to do this, and it's not good. And this is where public in general, us compliance professional in the community has to be careful. And if you guys have any platform that you run that is your own, right? If you are running a crypto exchange, be mindful of this. Like your company can be used for illicit actors that would be exploiting the system like this. Okay. Anyway. DeFi, let's talk about it a bit. Illicit funds increasingly move through DeFi today. Stable coins, cross-chain bridges. Actually, mixers decline after the Tornado Cash and the other mixer, what was the name of it, got cracked down. And it's actually good. However, at the same time, it makes us a headache because we finally learned how to investigate mixers. Okay, it was a perception that we don't know how. I can explicitly advise that we know how to investigate mixers. We can find it even if you mix the money. Okay, so and they shut it down. Now we don't know. Like anyway, stolen funds 2.2 billion in 2024, attributed to North Korea. They have hackers there. They sit day in day out and do hacks as per the reports. I don't know if this is true or not. Fraud shops down to 50% due to strong enforcement actions by the community, specifically from the compliance. Okay. Ransomware remains active but less profitable. Why? We have so many ethical hackers these days that would do just as fun. I have administered some of the ransomwares for some of my clients in the past as well. Sometimes we even would get something on Omni's website, Email Incubator's website. Hey, I just did this pen test on you. Do you want me to hack you? Say, sure, go ahead. Let's try. And that'll give them like a small amount of money, like a reward, right? Ethical hackers are there. It's decreasing. Ransomware trends in 2024, they fell for 35% year to year to approximately $813 million. Less than 50% of incidents resulted in payments. Payment volume dropped 34.9 in quarter 2 2024. Top strains Akira, Luckbit, Black Cat, and I don't know, some other funny names. So these are some of the stats for ransomware. I want you to see it decreased. Okay. Usually it still would end up with centralized exchanges, and we can trace it. Less mixers these days. We don't see them. I can actually show you one as well. Yeah, let me show you one. How about let's do fun stuff now. Okay. Let's do Tornado. Or let's do this one. $10 zombie cash. Zombie cats Sorry, just 10 seconds. Sure, let's just, oh, here it is. Found it. Zombie Cash, okay? It's a exchange in, I think in Kazakhstan, okay? As you can see, these are the wallets associated with Zombie Cash, okay? This is a cluster. Now, as you can see, this cluster has 2,035 wallets in it. Okay, all of them are identified. Okay, they have processed about 4 billion worth of BTC only. Currently, have almost nothing there in that wallet. See this colorful stuff here, guys? Okay, so this one is darknet. Okay, let me show you some of the stuff that is being received on this platform. Why this platform is being chosen? Because there is no KYC here. And 10 sec. Okay. Sorry. This. Ransom. Here. Okay. As you can see, $3,000 was received to this platform. $3,000 worth of Bitcoin was sent to this platform by someone who did the ransomware. Someone paid $1,606 through this platform to someone for ransomware. Okay, so this tells me that, like, if hypothetically this platform would KYC these individuals who are potential clients, would know who these are, right? However, this is not scary. Ransom, I don't really find it too scary. What I find scary is, I'll show you. Child abuse material is scary. You have $13, but this is actually an important $13 that was sent. Okay, that's a 1 year of subscription for someone. Okay. Again, like, yeah. Do you have any questions about this, or do you want to see something else here? Let me know.
How much does it cost chain analysis to have a...
way too much.
Way too much? Because it's a fun tool. Okay, thank you.
Way too much. But they're a good tool. We use nominees as well. Nominees is, as well. I just want to tell you that the AML incubator is not giving any endorsement to anyone. Okay. AML Incubator works with many compliance-related companies, some of which are competitor to each other. Okay, I don't care, Chainalysis, Nominees, Elliptic, or someone else. For me, all of them are bad, and I need all of them. Okay, so or good, and I need all of them. Same applies with KYC, KYB providers. Same applies to wash tradings and anything else here that you would see, like the partners that we currently have. All of them are together here for us, just for us to do our work.
For example, if a bad actor sent like $1,000 to a no KYC exchange,
yes,
and he withdraw $1,000 to a clean wallet, how do you know that this is the same guy?
That's a good question. Some of the cryptocurrencies that you would do transaction, we can actually label it as such, that that portion of that money is what you have done it. So let's say I'll give you $100, right? That $100 you give to Yuki or Owen, right? That's it, it's lost, right? Now imagine yourself $100 where it has red ink on it, stolen. Doesn't matter who you give it to, okay? It would have that trace. However, there are mechanisms to identify the true purpose of the transaction. Okay, I can tell what you're up to. Was it inadvertently done? Are you a risky individual? There are too many other factors that we need to take into consideration. I'll give you an example of one. Occupation, age, gender, cultural identity, shoe size, the color of your eyes. Okay? All of this is included in the investigations by the compliance officer when they determine whether something is right or wrong. I have seen massive amount of money coming from, what's the name? Hydra Marketplace? Darknet? Okay? For a 17-year-old kid. I asked him, like, what's going on? Okay? He said, hey, listen, when I was like 9 years old, I accidentally bought Bitcoin from there. Okay? I said, okay, this comes from potentially illicit place. It's labeled as such. I'm going to release it because he showed me everything that he did. And at the time when when people would need to buy Bitcoin, they would actually go to Darknet to actually do it, right? So it all depends on what the scenario is and what is involved in it. But there are mechanisms for us to identify what you're up to.
Yeah, but if I send my $1,000 to a cold wallet of an exchange, when I will withdraw this $1,000 is a new clean.
No, it's not new.
But
It's not the same.
so I think what you're saying is like, say he gave Yuki $100 and Yuki already had $200 from other people that have given her
Yeah.
money, and she gives me a different $100 bill. That trace is kind of broken there, no?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That's the thing. Okay, let me show you. See this one specifically. This is a cluster. Okay? This has 5,119 transactions. Okay? All the money came and went out. Correct? Some of them are illicit, some of them are not. Correct? I can trace each single one of them. Okay? Let me show you. Here.
This is a pretty small exchange, though. Like
100%.
once you take it to something like Gate.io,
That's
Maxi, there's a lot more transactions that happen. No,
100%.
like can't you just deposit on Ethereum and withdraw on a different network?
You can.
Like, are you
can
not
swap.
breaking enough of the trace there?
Look, at the end of the day, it depends on what is behind and how further you want to take the investigation to. If it's child abuse, I don't care what you do. I'll trace you till the end. Find who you are. If it's a scam, let's say, that is, I don't know, $100,000, the investigation itself might cost more than that $100,000. You know what I mean? However, again, as I have shown you at the beginning, I don't know if you were looking or you were here, I think you came a bit late, but let me try to show you that really quick. Investigation that was conducted was for $7, and it ended up as a terrorist property. In 10 seconds, I'll show you.
So basically, it only matters the origin of funds that is tied to if you're going to pursue.
Correct.
If you're just, kind
Correct.
of innocent, but don't really want to get, like, you're just kind of trying to find privacy without using a mixer, you can't just
I'll
use
identify. I'll identify that that's what you're up to. Not because you're using privacy mechanisms embedded in the whole idea of cryptocurrencies, but because I would have other indicators for me to understand it. Okay? So it's very normal. It's very normal. Again, here, see this? This was like a $7 investigation that led to one almost like 14 months, 15 months, 16 months investigation, reports back to back, and probably on this investigation alone, government of Canada and USA collectively spent $12 million, if not more. Including my salary at the time, which was approximately $80,000 per year. Okay? So, like, I'm just telling you, like, it depends on what we're up to. Okay? But if you want to really do privacy stuff and you want to just have control of your own finances without someone's oversight, it's normal for us. I'm not going to come after you because you just want to move your crypto to your ledger and self-custody yourself and buy some stuff online, whoever provides you that opportunity to do so, using cryptocurrencies. Okay, I'm okay with that. Okay, but when, again, as I mentioned before, we draw a line. The Rubicon is when people get harmed. Like, I'm not okay with that. Make sense?
Yeah.
So I want a bit more clarity on like when you're labeling these transactions, right? And like when you're doing compliance and AML, it sounds like you're taking in a lot of different factors.
Correct.
In addition to the on-chain stuff.
Correct.
And maybe I just want to understand like what other stuff it is. And maybe the question I'll ask is like, is it possible to like mislabel a transaction? So you're on chain analysis and it says that this money came from money ransomware.
All the time.
So like, yeah. So, yeah, can you tell me like, how does that happen? Or like, where does the mislabel, like when and how does mislabeling happen?
There would be instances when, for example, okay, before we label a wallet to be belonging to someone illicit or somewhere illicit or something illicit, there are certain processes that indexing firms would actually undergo. Most of the time, it would take time, okay? And it's pretty accurate. On top of it, one thing is important to note. It's you, let's say you see a wallet or an exchange, same with the zombie cash that I just showed you. How many times did we reach out to this guy saying, hey guys, are you legit or not? Just come to the table, talk to us. You are no KYC? Yes, no problem. You are acting in a jurisdiction when you're not required to do so. However, we expect you to cooperate because every crypto that comes from you going forward would be flagged by us, or would be going to you, would be flagged by us, right? So those are the mechanisms that we currently have, and they're pretty democratic, I would say. If you are not involved in stuff, you probably won't be mistaking, we won't do this mistake where we would mislabel you as such. And so, even if we did, there are mechanisms for you to really quickly fix it. Simply you are reaching out. Hey guys, I found out Tigran on the, one of these presentations showed the wallet. It actually was my wallet and I'm labeled as, I don't know, criminal. What's going on? Oh, I'm sorry. No problem. Let me have a look. Answer these questions. Question 1, where did this transaction comes from? Where did you get this $100 million worth of Bitcoin? Shows us North Korea. Okay, no, I bought it like before North Korea was created. Okay, let's see. We see it. My apologies. I love you. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was helpful. So it sounds like there's a lot of like heuristics, like not like very black and white stuff, a lot of kind of just like patterns that you've seen and that you've learned. When you're kind of doing AML, like in general, is there kind of like a split between like very clear, hard evidence versus like just heuristics and more just kind of like softer kind of evidence? Like what's the kind of split there for an investigation?
We have actually written down. It's a guidance received by our regulator. It's called risk-based approach. You have to identify a transaction and report it when you reach to reasonable grounds to suspect that something is wrong. I'll give you an example. Let's assume you have a hunch that something is not right. Have you reached to reasonable grounds to suspect? No, you haven't, because you feel something's not right, right? But then you have a fact or two that you have a reason to believe something is wrong. Okay, for example, you find out that an individual that you're investigating is 111 years old and sending crypto. Hey, this is a flag, right? I have a reason to believe something's not right. You file a report. Reasonable grounds to believe is when you see it and you have the fact. So you have Owen with his last name and picture on CBC News stating that he killed Otto. Okay? With Otto's in his hands. It's evidence, right? So reasonable grounds to believe. And then at the beginning, when you had that hinge, it's just simple suspicion where you feel is not right. Now, one more interesting fact for you. You would be laughing, but good compliance officers usually would use like intuition. And I don't know how this comes to us, but when I look at facts and draw an investigation for myself, I might be wrong. When I rely on intuition, I haven't had a case that I'm wrong yet. I don't know how that happens. I don't believe it too, to be quite honest. I still subject myself. Like, no, this is just intuition. It's gonna be wrong, right? But you feel something's not right, it's not right. And majority of the compliance officers have this. When they do an investigation, they feel something's wrong. It's probably wrong, okay?
Yeah, that was good. Thanks.
I have a question, if I may, on more the practical aspects of DeFi. Let's say one of the organizations you have identified, they decide somehow that they are going to get some yield on their stablecoins. They go and they put some liquidity in some pool on a decentralized exchange or something. And let's say Otto wants to use the 10,000 USDC that he got for Christmas and wants to buy, I don't know, let's say Fartcoin, for example. He goes on that pool, buys it. If it's the same pool that the malicious actors have provided liquidity in it, is there like a is it going to put Otto at risk in terms of his capital because he interacted with that same pool? How do you manage that?
If I understood it correctly, so the question is as follows. Otto inadvertently participated in a rug pool.
No, not necessarily. So, you know, like...
Or a liquidity pool that can be potentially...
infected, quote unquote,
infected?
by...
Totally okay.
Okay.
Have you seen Binance's wallets?
True. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean that Otto is bad. Okay? It's just like we can trace it. There are mechanisms for us to see it. Okay? Even if it's there, you can always ask, Otto, what were you up to? Hey, I was just trying to buy a shitcoin.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Right, and by the way, I'm going to talk about it in a moment. DeFi, okay? Non-KYC crackdown impact. This is the trend. DeFi is the trend, okay? People don't want to have their KYC. That's why they're bending towards DeFi. This is a regulatory horror show for us. Okay, it's difficult for me to actually do my job because I don't know who is behind. However, again, very small component of people are exploiting this, not unfortunately, but fortunately. Okay, I'm okay for DeFi. I'm happy with DeFi, but the DeFi is being exploited by people as well that are illicit in nature. And let's talk about how. No KYC exchanges, platforms that allow users to trade, deposit, and withdraw crypto without requiring identity verification, commonly used for anonymity and privacy-focused transaction. Why they exist? For different reasons, and one of them is a weak regulatory oversight in certain jurisdictions. This is not okay. Okay? You still need mitigating controls in place to stop it, even if you are not KYCing. Even in Canada, certain transaction does not require you to be KYC'd in order for you to do that transaction. I'll give you an example. If you keep your transaction volume amount less than $1,000, a regulated crypto exchange does not have to KYC you. Okay? No KYC exchanges do off-ramps. Okay? This is bad. This is not okay. There are Russian crypto exchanges right now that simply can get the crypto there into that exchange and send it to a credit card. And you have just did placement, layering, and integrated back into the economy. Okay, Now, market manipulation is another headache that we're dealing with. 2.5 billion across ETH BNB chain base. Yeah, 704 million via repeated mash trades. Heuristic, 1.8 billion via token multi-center across thousands of wallets. Key characteristics of wash trading. Most wash trades are highly concentrated. Few actors, few pools. Top wallets, approximately 54,000 trades across 241 pools with 17.3 million volume. One controller managed 22,000 addresses worth 313 million fake trades. Okay, so bird eye that I showed you at the beginning, that's happening. Be careful. Okay, wash trading is a thing. It's a big thing. And wash trading is pretty easy. Not in crypto. Not in crypto. Not with the technology that we currently have, and not the way they do it. At least with the new emerging stuff that we currently have, we are catching it after the fact. And when we have the data. Yeah, I'll show you some of the examples with DeFi specifically. Even if I catched it, I don't know what to do with it. Okay, it's like simple as is. Let's go forward. Wash trading as a service. Tools like Volume.li offers bots to stimulate fake liquidity on DEX. Okay, so bots perform rapid buy and sell loops to boost token visibility and rankings. Example, Donald J. Trump token. Okay, so this is the thing, guys. Pump and dump schemes. Remember what happened with Argentina's president? Simple example. Okay. Let's talk about this for a second. And we're almost done, by the way. Thank you for patience. We're almost done. I know this can be drained, but I want the community to have this information. Like, this is important for you to know. Thanks. Crypto scam revenue by subclass. So rug pulls is 4%. Pig butchering is 33%. Other scams, live streams, imposters are really small. High yield investment trading. Okay, so 50% goes there as of today. So we gotta be very careful. Anyway. You know, when you put
deposit
money in,
and get guaranteed yield, and then
get money,
you can't withdraw.
interests.
But hey, if you deposit more, you can withdraw later. But
and then they say you need to
you
pay
have
taxes.
like a fake front end that shows that you have a bunch of money, and like you log in again, it's like, oh my god, I'm up 200%. I'll deposit more. And then you want to take out a little, and they're like, okay, you can take out a little, but then you're gonna have to deposit more to pay for the transaction fees because Ethereum is very expensive right now. And then
and then you have to pay taxes, and then you need to pay for notary, and then you have to pay to the lawyer that would be overseeing it. Then you understand that you got scammed. What happens after that? Someone else would call you and would say, hey, I'll return, you got scammed, and you get scammed second time. It's a big thing. Okay, so like this is big. AI powered fraud. This is a thing right now that we're dealing with. This is very fun. At some point, we thought that, hey, our occupation gets boring. No. Thanks for ChatGPT and all the wonder that it brings, the AI, we're fighting this day in, day out. Deepfakes are a thing. And the way they're a thing, it's impossible to even imagine. I love it. Okay, I really do. I really do. Okay. This is another one that I want to show to you. Yearly total value stolen crypto hacks and number of hacks. So as you can see, it kind of increased, okay? But it stabilizes. But take into consideration, every 4 years, we double or triple the size of the community, okay? Even though it's 2.2 billion as of 2024,
Well,
They're
it's
like-
been bigger already in 2025 now.
And bigger in 2020.
Like just in the first couple months, we've
Yes.
had the biggest hack in history.
Thanks for Trump. Yeah.
Well, thanks for the incompetency of Bybit.
And Bybit. Yeah. Funny thing is, usually at the ML incubator, we come in, we build the platform, and we hand it over. We don't stick around for long. I had an employee just left Bybit and came to this platform that I had to hand over the program. The moment he went out, a week later, this happened. And yeah, I said, hey, like, good thing that you come out. Just, yeah, anyway. Some more data. I want to get to here. Okay, let's talk about this really quick, and that's it. Then we can stop. DeFi compliance. Everything new, everything cool. Tokenization, RWAs. Massive component for it from the perspective of compliance is to take reasonable measures to stop this financial crime that I introduced to you today. One of the components is the KYC. If you can potentially do it where it's visible for you to do so without impacting your business operations, always do so, okay? Because your platform won't be exploited by illegal actors. KYC is essence. Private key management, rigorous due diligence on hires, especially remote. Some of the ways for you to mitigate all this. Real-time on-chain threat monitoring, like using certain tools. Cross-sector collaboration. This is something big for us in the crypto community. We have Telegram channels. We have, I don't know, places where we go. I came here today to talk about this with you guys as well. Like, it's okay, I'll leave my cards and you can call me if in case some of your friends or yourself need help. It's there and it's free. Okay, this is important to mention.
What's the best course of action users should take for like basic hacks?
Basic hacks?
Like, you know, they were retarded, they opened a website, they uploaded their seed phrase.
Yeah.
And then like they think it's the platform's fault, and then they realize it was their own fault, and then like what do they do? Like when they're there, what do? Do they just like report to the police? Do they text
In
SEAL
Canada,
911?
there is a specific...
Worldwide,
Worldwide?
You don't know where they are. It's an online persona that
Yeah.
is sad that they got hacked.
Reach out right away to crypto forensic firms that specialize in investigations that would be able to quickly act and label these cryptocurrencies as stolen. It would at least make the illicit actors, for them, it would make a headache for them to play with it, okay? And then in certain scenarios, in 1% of the time, we are able to return it, okay? So we can actually trace it, find it, and then lock it up somewhere where there is a KYC exchange, and we return these funds.
But is there
However,
like a good go-to place for them to report? Like they
I
should
never
go to
endorse...
SEAL 911 or something?
No. I never endorse any companies. There are so many of them.
But that's also the problem, no? Like if a user's already hacked, he's prone to getting hacked again. So he's going to go report it somewhere else and then share his KYC and then share his, you know, social security number and then...
No one usually asks this. This is
Yeah, but this is a user that already offered stupid information. So like that's why I'm asking, when you offer too many options to the user that's already prone to self-sabotage, what is a good option that they can go to that you can point at, like, well, these are 3 companies that can actually help you and you can verify these links? Like, I know you don't want to endorse anyone, but realistically, if I came to you right now, you don't know me, you can't see me, where would you point me to go report a problem?
What's the name of the firm? I can't give you on the top of my head. Let me just give you some more information about this, okay? I don't like crypto forensic firms that specialize in forensics only because they charge. So if you lost money for whatever the reason is, you can reach out to these guys. They would usually take a percentage when they return your crypto back. That's why I don't have any of them on my partners lists. I don't even know the names of these, but they are legitimate ones that do this work. How they do it, they would create a report, they would coordinate with the law enforcement worldwide after they identify where the crypto is, and they will try to return it. Either through the platform that it was actually, these transactions were done through, okay? Or where the funds are identified to be at the moment, okay? So when they do this, they reach out and they try to extract it. I can probably share on your social media guys at some point some of the firms that I know that are legitimate. However, one thing I want to mention, they will never ask money from you at the beginning. Okay, they would tell you, you lost 1 Bitcoin, no problem. I'll try to return that 1 Bitcoin back to you, but I'm going to keep 20% of it. At the AML incubator, when you reach out, given our capacity, we can do this work as well. We do this for free, absolutely free. So out of just good gesture, out of like corporate social responsibility, if you are in the situation where you have this problem, reach out. I'll at least give you guidance of what to do.
Is that an open invite to direct traffic to you?
Honestly, I would rather not have it, but sure. Again, we're a B2B business, right? So I don't have individual clients.
I think that's the biggest issue, though. Most compliance or similar are B2B businesses, and then you get a large cohort of users that get scammed, and then they don't know where to go.
You can reach out. There was not even one instance when someone reached out and I did not offer help. Not even one instance. Like, we would have this, like right away, we know what to do. Reach out. You have all of this here. Like, you can do Telegram, LinkedIn, hello, AML Incubator. Just write that down there right away. You can do it through this thing here. I hope this, yeah. It's going to be redesigned, by the way. It's going to be white soon. But yeah, you can actually reach out and we will receive it right away. And we're very, very quick to get back to you, and we will offer help. There are instances where I would be directly involved in it because someone asked me to. I will do the investigation, create report, we'll give you the report. I will tell you, go to this police officer is waiting for you. They will go there in Canada specifically. There are departments who deals with it. And they would, police officer which reached out to me to ask more questions. I'll help them out with the investigation to see what we can do for the individual. One thing I want to mention, I don't like this. Usually people that are calling me are distressed. Imagine yourself, you work all your life, you have your kids' education money, and you just like killed it. Okay? Again, I have seen 6 suicides so far. This is not fun work. Okay? However, if they call, we help. We have no other choice. Actually, we do. We don't advertise that we know how to do that because I don't want to deal with it. I would rather mitigate this through my clients' platforms and stop this internally through businesses rather than with the end user, so to speak.
Since like all these reporting and tracking stuff takes time and money and resources from the compliance officer of the firm, how much is worth it? Is a kind of question like, if I lose the Bitcoin, maybe that's worth it. 100K, that's great. I lost 50, like $10
No,
or something. That's probably not worth it, right?
it's okay.
So where is the, you know, like what is a threshold that's like, hey, I should probably put in the effort to at least report it, if not.
Always do. If it's like more than, I would say, $1,000, always do. Okay. The reason why, because I can quickly just like I had an instance when a friend of mine inadvertently, okay, just got into a scam and lost three grand. Guy, I don't know, probably is north of $100 million worth. Okay. I quickly looked at it out of fun. We just identified it into a platform that we cooperate. I called one phone call, I stopped it. Return the funds. Always do. Okay, always do. And don't forget, it might be not a lot of money for some people. For some people, it might be a thing, right? And reporting is always the right thing. We might really quickly do something about it and quickly return the funds.
So who do I report? I've made police reports to the Vancouver PD.
Yeah, okay.
They're probably not doing too much. Who do I report to?
There is Anti-Fraud Center, that's one. Oh, you lost money.
Many times.
Yes. So yeah, there actually is somebody in our Telegram groups that has been impersonating people.
Oh, let's go and
Yeah.
where is it?
Um,
Add me in.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, happy to share.
Yeah. Do you have that address?
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Send me to me. We can investigate right away.
Okay, yeah, I'll send you some information. Again, I'm very trusting. I've lost many monies, many a times. And again, like, I report to the VPD. I think it's good to have it on record, but I've never like reported it to someone who might label it. I don't think the Vancouver PD is labeling anything. So
they're not labeling. However, they have access. The law enforcement in Canada, they do have access to all the tools that I have access to. They have specific departments that deal with virtual
they're doing
currencies.
it. They're doing stuff. You think?
No.
Yes. How effective it is, I cannot really say.
Sure.
However, I do know some of them. They're hardcore.
Okay.
I would trust certain work to them. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Well, let me see. I might be able to find something
Yeah.
out there.
I'll share it. Yeah.
All good?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it was not that difficult as I felt it would be. I'll be honest.
No, it was
so good.
great.
Thank you so much. Again,
Yeah, thank you so much.
this is very, very odd to me to do this. Again, I have our Nina that we hired specifically to do this presentation
You did a great job.
for us.
Amazing job.
I appreciate you guys asking all these questions, and yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of audience engagement. I think everybody here found a lot of it quite interesting, and thank you for coming to share.
Awesome. Hey, stay compliant and don't drink and drive.
Any other? We are a bit at time here, but any other quick questions, maybe, or? Okay, I think we'll call it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll stick around a bit too.